The media, I am here to clarify a situation, a position which was announced by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs. I'm here to correct it so that it is not misquoted or misunderstood. What happened is that I presented a memo to the governance cluster requesting them to approve the payment of the sum of $4,482,500. This was an amount which I requested in order to meet the advocate fees as well as the court fees for an appeal against the decision of an arbitrator with whom we had a case with Vivacell or Al Fatouche Group. We had a case with the Vivacell as an operator. It is worth mentioning that I had suspended the work of Vivacell because they were operating on a license, and that license had expired. We had given them 10 years to operate, and that license was the license of the New Sudan. After the 10 years, I requested them to obtain a South Sudan license, and they refused, so I suspended the decision. I decided to suspend Vivacell from operation until we agree on the way forward. Instead, Vivacell, instead of coming to us, Vivacell decided to write a petition to an arbitration court. The arbitration court held the case, and after a lengthy struggle with them, we succeeded to flush out 2 million out of the 3 million which he was, not million, billion, 3 billion which he was claiming. We managed to slash out 2 billion. And there was 1 billion left, which was left for quantum, that is for assessment of the quantities and the value of this. So this was the case. We appealed against it, and we requested the 4 million plus for the appeal. This amount was approved by the governance cluster, and it was not the Ministry of Justice that made the appeal, but the Ministry of Information and Ministry of Information that made the appeal. The appeal was made by us, was done by us after obtaining a letter of no objection from the Ministry of Justice as well as from the Ministry of Finance. So we made this presentation to the governance cluster, and the governance cluster approved it, pending presentation to the cabinet or when it meets. That is pending presentation to the Council of Ministers. So the correction here is that the amount which is being claimed, which we are fighting against, is 1 billion, and the 4 million point something which was approved was for the court fees as well as advocate fees. This is what we need to clarify so that we don't mix between issues. It is the ministry which is making this, not the Ministry of Justice. But it did it with the consent and no objection letter from the Ministry of Justice. what was approval which was given here was a recommendation, in other words. It was a recommendation to the Council of Ministers from the governance cluster to approve this money. Once it comes out, once the cabinet approves it, then now it is the Minister of Finance who will be directed to pay this money. That is the procedure.
That means if the money is released, you proceed with the appeal.
We are even now proceeding with the appeal because we were given limited time up to the 16th of this month, but because we could not make it, we had actually requested to be given another period within which we should appeal. Of course, the case cannot be seen. The appeal cannot be seen if you don't pay the court fees as well as the advocate fees. This is why we are waiting, and we are optimistic. We are hopeful that the cabinet will approve it on Friday when it sits. It was actually up to the 16th of this month. And the 16th of this month has now lapsed, and we have requested them to give us additional period. But up to now, we have not received any order to that effect.
You ask for how long?
Well, it is the lawyers who know it. It is our lawyers who know it. When is it needed? In the first place, there is no room for us to lose the case, because we cannot say that we will lose the case. Because even the arbitrator misunderstood the order which I made. The order talks of suspension of the operations of Vivacell pending agreement with them, reaching a solution on the disputed issues. Now the arbitrator took it that we have stopped. Not that only, but we have I don't know which word can I use for it, but they are saying that we have stopped the Vivacell from operation. Meanwhile, there is difference between a complete dismissal, dismissal, and suspension. In suspension, you have the right to review your decision at any time if all these are agreed upon. But when you are completely sending away or stopping him completely from following up any other processes, then that is a mere dismissal, and you may not review your decision. So we actually suspended the work of the company, and they took it that way, and they decided to take us to the court. That is all clarification that I wanted to make. Thank you very much. Coming of the Pope, the PAPAL visit to South Sudan, we are in preparation. We are preparing in all aspects. And the Pope, as we know very well, the Pope will be arriving here on the 3rd of February. 3rd of February, and will leave us on the 5th of February. That is, he will be here with us on the 3rd, on the 4th, and on the 5th. These are the days that he will be with us here, after which he will be traveling. So we expect my appeal to the people of South Sudan, and especially the population of Juba, is to appeal to them and request them to get prepared for the reception of the Holy See and the Archbishop of Canterbury and the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Scotland. They are expected to be arriving together, and we, on our part, we are expected to receive them on the 1st, on the 3rd, and on the 4th, they will be going to their respective churches to conduct prayers there, and then on the 4th, on the evening of the 4th, they will be here in the mausoleum, and also on the 5th in the morning, they will be here also at the mausoleum for the final mass, after which they will be traveling back home. So that is in short, this is the program of the PAPAL visit, and we are working hard to ensure that the Holy See is received by the people of South Sudan. The message that it will send to others is that South Sudan is at peace. And South Sudan is no longer killing itself like what was being reported, but South Sudan is in peace, and this is why the papal visit is